and welcome to this Divine Partnership coaching video. I want to do a short blurb about what to do when your divine partner is quiet. Like, let's say you have some radio silence, or they're maybe just giving you like one-word answers, or even if you are in a no-contact separation situation. The first thing I'm going to say is don't. This is going to be weird to say because we tend to reflect each other, but don't, like, how do I say it? Don't get into your own game of, like, no contact. Like, oh, you're not going to talk to me, so I'm not going to talk to you. Or, you're not talking to me, I'm going to block you. Or, you're not being enough of a conversationalist, I'm going to yell at you. Don't do that. However, do reflect. Like, I need to do another video. Part of this journey is learning that although you do reflect each other, you have the choice on how you reflect. So, like, if your partner is stuck in, let's say, Hanged Man energy, which is the number 12 card, you can reflect by being the 21 energy, which is the world, which is completion, which is movement out of the Hanged Man energy. Or you could even go into Empress energy, because both 12 and 21 equal 3, right? So, at least in in numerology, I know that the 12 and 21 does not actually equal 3, but break them down individually, it equals 3. You got the Empress card. Especially for Divine Femmes, that's a great energy to go into. Like, that's path of least resistance and most love. And that's when things just gradually come to you. Now, there's a great difficulty, especially early on, especially if, one, you've just met your divine partner and you can feel that intensity and that pull, and then suddenly they ghost you, or you know that they're wrapped up in a karmic marriage or a relationship or something like that, and you feel just so intensely like you would really like to talk with them. Or if you have been in relationship, whether union or pseudo union or anything like that, and then suddenly you're separated after a long amount of time of cohabitating, whether it was healthy or toxic or whatnot, it's very challenging not to feel triggered when they pull away. However, here's the thing. Every time they pull away, that is a space for you to heal in. It's a moment to say, okay, who do I want to be in this moment? If I feel like this is my divine partner, that Spirit brought us together because we are so incredible for each other that we actually have the ability to even help others. If you believe that this is your person, then you have to look at it like, one, how do you want to be treated if that's you messing up? Two, what kind of partner do you want to be for them, and for yourself? What kind of partner do you want to feel like? Do you want to feel like the kind of partner that is so easily upset by not talking to them for a few hours or a few days, even a few weeks, that you freak out and block or get dramatic or get mad, or, do you want to feel like that kind of person? The other thing is, too, that if you're feeling triggered by them not talking to you or ghosting you, and they are your divine partner, then it's actually coming out like they're not consciously doing this in most cases, going, well, I know that they need to learn how to deal with their fears of abandonment, so I'm going to ghost them. No, it doesn't usually happen like that. However, when you are listening to Spirit and your heart and recognizing what's going on, you can see that when you are upset because they are not paying attention to you or have ghosted you, it's usually because you have fears of abandonment. They can go back to the mother-father wound, they can be from your relationship with them, they can be from former relationships. Either way, it is a glaring red sign that you got some work to do. So if you're feeling triggered by time apart, or not talking constantly, or not getting the details or the apologies or the confessions or whatever it is that you think that you need to feel better, that's time to give yourself whatever it is that you feel that you need and dig in deep and figure out where the fear of abandonment comes from and why it is that it is so triggering when they are quiet. And I guarantee you, I had a very difficult time with that. Very, very difficult. And I probably could. In fact, I know that I delayed a lot of opportunities for us to get into union sooner because I had that difficulty. I had a lot to heal in terms of fearful avoidance attachment and anxious avoidant attachment. And it took me a while even to recognize that that was happening, but I kept doing my digging, and when quiet moments came, I I came up with a list of things to do. I would journal. Sometimes it would even just be conversations that I could be having with him, or I might write out a bunch of things, all my feelings about what happens when he's not talking with me, or I'd write down a list of what am I so afraid of. What, that he's not going to talk to me ever again, or that he's going to leave me, or that he'll fall out of love with me, or this and that. And even as I wrote them, like the responses came to themselves, like, come on, we've been doing this for so long now, and we reflect each other. There's no way he's going to just be gone for good. There's no way that he doesn't feel this too. And even if the worst case scenario happened and we had like a long-term no contact situation, one, we've had that before in our relationship and spirit still brought us back together. Or one or the other of us reached out to the other one. And I'm talking years of space. I'm talking dating other people in serious commitments. There's no evidence for me to feel like it's going to be the end of the world in that moment. And I also know that if it is a divinely guided relationship, then there is extra reason not to worry. And if it's not what I think that it is, something better's on its way. And really, that's kind of the mindset you got to get to, is like, okay, this isn't actually about the reality of what's happening, the ghosting or not talking, or they're in a third party or whatever's going on. This is about you and you and you and spirit. And so when your partner gets quiet, whether it's a ghosting, or they're just not talking very much, or they're spacing things out, you got to get to a place to where you've healed your triggers. You're not so torn up by it. You're also not afraid to reach out to them, whether they're reaching out to you or not, but you're not like being obsessive and stalkery or anything like that. And that will help you get to a space where you feel faith in yourself and in them. And when you finally release that need to control, to have that communication, to know everything that's going on, and you really trust, that's when they start communicating. So when you get to a point to where there's a quiet moment and you feel that doubt creeping in, or you wonder, have faith. I have little sticky notes that remind me, like, spirit has a much bigger imagination and access to much more resources than I do. I'd rather trust it. It also has a great sense of humor and shows me fun over and over again. I also have allow things to unfold beautifully. Like, allow things to continue to unfold beautifully is what I say these days, because it already is. And it's because I don't have, because I worked on myself enough not to have an expectation on what it should look like. I get pleasantly surprised all the time in how it turns out. I'm going to do some more videos on other helpful and healthy expectations, but for right now, the best thing you can do when your partner is quiet is get back to your list of what you want to work on with you. And that includes the anxiety that you may feel when you guys aren't talking. You should not be in a constant state of vigilance about what are they doing, what are they working on, constantly watching tarot videos or things like that, which I'm like the first violator of that, but that's why I'm making these videos, because I didn't see a lot of them out there, and I recognize just how challenging that can be at first. But I also know that through my own stumbling and getting there, that I understand how helpful it is, how important it is, and how profound it is to your partner when they recognize that you are able to give them space and not control things and still be a kind, loving presence without this big expectation on them. You can hear the Blue Jays out there saying, yep, that's right. Blue Jays are about truth and releasing ego. So, yeah, get a journal, get some games on your phone that you like, talk to some friends that you trust to share these absurdities with, go for walks, get your goals together on things that you feel like you can't do until union happens, and start making them happen now and work on them. And work on your self-worth always. Always remind yourself that, especially if you, like, whether you've actually met your divine partner or not, you are incredibly valuable to them, and there is no reason other than that they need to learn a few things and do a little bit of maturing that they aren't going to choose you. And if that's happening, that means that you've got some learning to do too and some growing to do too. You will meet when the time is right. And I think part of the twin flame journey, aside from the missions afterwards, is really getting to that state to where your relationship is unfuckwithable, because you are not concerned when karmic energy comes in. You are not phased when there are moments of quiet or distress or detachment or whatever it is. Because you're good with you, you're good with spirit, and you have faith in your partner's higher self, so that even when they're cutting out in the 3D, you're good. And that's what will allow them to want to fill those shoes and do it and amaze you, and it'll refuel the journey, and before you know it, you're helping other people with what you know, and they're helping you help other people. I think one of my favorite examples is if you look at Fiery Grace and Mr. Lightwork. They're a YouTube couple, even Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine, that now help people and with their journey. All right, everybody, if you have any specific questions, please let me know. I'll do some more fine-tuned videos later. I hope that you find this helpful for now.